Hey guys, Sure Gabby John coming at you with another Diablo Immortal video. This video is going to be a fun one. I had an interview with my good friend Veiled Shot Gaming. I wanted to talk to him. This was kind of his first entry game into like the Diablo Immortal or Diablo franchise, as well as like ARPGs. He's got a lot of time invested in the game. He's actually been going super hard, and he's making a lot of content. So definitely go check him out. I'm gonna have links down to his content down below. You definitely want to go check him out. But I found it interesting the amount that he was playing, and I just wanted to kind of talk to him about it because he's doing a lot of work, a lot of prep work. He's grinding constantly. I'm already familiar with these types of games, so I know what to expect. So from his perspective, it's a little different as far as what to expect with like Diablo Immortal. Even just going in and talking to him about, okay, well, why is he spending so much time in the game? Like, what kind of value does he feel he's getting? And it's a very interesting perspective on the amount of time, because I know a lot of people out there who are playing these type of ARPGs like Path of Exile, Diablo 3, Diablo Immortal, Diablo 2. You guys know that it's grinding game. Diablo Immortal kind of changed that pace just a little bit with the whole monetization scheme of things. So it's interesting to talk to someone who's had a lot of hours put into the game while also trying to maintain a lot of other aspects. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the video. And if you do, please remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, enjoy. All right, so like I said at the beginning of the video, I am joined today with my good friend Veiled Shot Gaming. For those of you who do not know Veiled Shot, you definitely want to go check out his YouTube channel, his Twitch. The man does daily videos, sometimes duplicate uploads in a day. He's been working very hard within our organization, Aftershock United, and he's done quite a bit. He's one of the top ranked Crusaders in Diablo Immortal as far as my server is concerned. And he's also put in a lot of hours and done a lot of grinding on both for the free-to-play side of things versus the pay-to-win side of things. So I kind of brought him on the channel. Like I said, I wanted to get his perspective of the amount of hours he's kind of played and just kind of talk in general. So Bale, thanks for coming on to the channel. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. I woke up and did 6 hours to get 2 levels.
Oof, 6 hours to get 2 levels. That's brutal. What level? Let's see. What level are you at the current moment? Are you a higher? Oh God, you're at 57. What a Paragon
Yeah,
server right now is 48. Kind of explain to me a little bit about that journey. So that's what, 9 levels above Paragon currently? Yeah,
yep.
9 levels above.
That is my benchmark every day. That's what I've set for myself.
Really? So your benchmark is going to be nine levels above Paragon.
Yeah, right when
Okay.
you hit the 9 level mark, you get the 30% experience, and that's when it starts to feel really bad.
All right, so that puts a little bit of that into perspective, because so you're saying at the 30% mark. For those of you who are unaware of the Paragon server system here, I'm at 50. I'm 2 levels above the Paragon. I'm at 80%. That means you literally get a reduced amount of the XP down to 80%, and Veiled over here is getting a reduced amount down to 30%, and that's going to be his target goal moving forward in Diablo Immortal. So tell me, you said it took about 6 hours for you to get your 2 levels for today. So that's going to be every day you're going to play for on average about 6 hours. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I and that's like hardcore farming, like group
Yeah.
of four, open world. Yeah, 6 hours is like okay, maybe 5 hours. You could do it in 5 hours if you didn't get messed up, but yeah, it's not like casually chilling by the couch or whatever. It's
Okay.
like paying attention to the game.
So explain to me this one then. So I know you spent a little bit of money on the game, right? And I know your background is mostly being from like the younger generation. You don't spend a whole lot of money on on games, right? Generally speaking. So
No, nope.
is is the thought process on the grinding a lot more is to kind of alleviate a little bit of that spending, or tell me a little bit more about that. Is it because you're really enjoying the game, or is it like the camaraderie, or is it a combination of things? Kind of give me your thought on why you feel like grinding this much is worth your time.
Yeah, there's definitely like a combination of things.
Okay.
One thing is that it's social, right? So
Right.
I'm pretty much never grinding alone, even though I'm
Okay.
not necessarily in like voice chat or whatever. I'm just chilling out with 3 people from the clan.
Right.
But also, it's an investment in some way for me.
Okay. Okay.
as as many of you out there know who spend money on mobile games, it's kind of like an investment gone to waste if I'm not using it. I really enjoy
Yeah.
the game.
Okay.
So I really enjoy the game. So there's no problem with me, playing the game, six
Right.
hours on my main account. But I mean, we're here to be one of the strongest clans, and I want to show up for the rest of the clan and do what I can. Since I have the ability to do so,
Right.
I feel like, okay, I can match the spending with the ability to grind, and I'll be one of the strongest members in the clan consistently. So then I can show up for, the Shadow War, the Rite of Exile, the big matches over
Yeah.
there.
So basically, the grinding is kind of like a caveat of you want to compete, right? So for those of you who are kind of watching and thinking, okay, man, 6 hours a day, that's a lot. I mean, it's because Vale's trying to compete, right? Like he's a content creator like myself. Like I said, does daily videos. You can't do daily videos on new content and the metas if you're not grinding like he's grinding. So it's something to take away from here is like, that's 6 hours to compete and then hopefully alleviate a little spending. That's not necessarily a bad thing in the grand scheme of things when the main focus is just trying to get content and trying to really keep that competitive nature going, right?
Yeah.
Would you say, because obviously Aftershock United, like we're trying to really start this great organization, we're bringing the communities together, we got content creators doing all this content and videos working together, collaborations, does that kind of like pressure you into feel like you need to do a lot of this, or is it more like the game actually draws it out of you because you get to interact and have fun with other people within the community that we're kind of building?
I would say it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
And where this comes from is like, if I wasn't necessarily being competitive, I probably would have had all 6 classes made by now. I probably would have had every single one of the classes. My main would have been at server Paragon,
Right.
9 levels below. And I probably would have had at least level 60 to every single class at this point, just because I think it's kind of fun. I've always been an
Right.
alt-aholic,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
where every other MMO, I got, all classes made, I got all of them maxed out and playing with them. So I've always enjoyed that, and that's probably what I would do. And also, it makes for pretty good content, but definitely it helps being at the cutting edge, playing 6 hours at the minimum a day, just so I
Right.
can be there for the content as well as show up for the clan. Even though I think there's more fun to be had in some alt accounts.
Yeah, I know. I think you dabbled a little bit in another class, right? You put a few hours into another account already at this point. So with that
Yeah.
being said, obviously, so what's that other class for those? So those of you or those that are viewing that aren't aware of like what your alt is, what's your class and what's it called? And what's the character's name?
So, I have a monk who's level
Okay.
44, who I've invested 10 hours into at this point,
Okay, reasonable.
and we're rolling the Bing Bong over there for the
There it
name.
is. So, there it is, representing our Deadwood Jedi, another good friend of ours. Oh, I love it, love it. So you put in about 10 hours into that other account. So obviously, like you've subtracted a little bit of the playtime that you could have put in elsewhere, but you're having fun with it. That's what that tells me, right? You're having a lot of fun with it. You're building that camaraderie. You're being able to be competitive. Um, I can see where a lot of people would kind of see like or think that, man, 6 hours is an awful lot. But guys, when you're playing a game that you're enjoying and you're kind of running around with a lot of people throughout the day and talking to a lot of people, like your day kind of goes by quick. And that 6 hours, I mean, do you feel like it takes like, is that 6 hours really like a long 6 hours for you, or is it kind of like oh crap, I need to go do something real quick, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Like, I could definitely spend, as you kind of already allude to, I love the monk. I could spend 6 hours on the monk running Elder Rifts, although it gets a little tedious after a few hours. The monk's got a teleporting basics. You're just popping around all over the map. It's
Yeah.
crazy fun. But certainly, I wake up or whatever. I decide to do it later at night.
Yep.
Running the open world farm at the lower experience rates does feel a little bit of a chore just because I
Okay.
wanted to keep up the level. The daily activities though feel pretty reasonable. If I do my contracts, like I would say like, maybe 3, 4 hours of that could be grinding consistently. And then the other 2 hours could be casual, like, okay, I'm gonna run a contract, and that might take
Right.
now 4 hours, and then I run back and do my bounties or whatever it is, it might take a few hours for those too, but it's all good. Those are much more casual.
All right, all right. I mean, that's totally fair. Because yeah, I mean, I was always just curious, and I know like talking with you and getting involved with Aftershock United, like I could tell you're going to be someone who wanted to compete and do like have all this and do like as much as you possibly can, right? Like you want to get that return on your investment and your time and your money, like you're speaking of. So at this point, do you regret any of like the general gameplay or how much time you've kind of invested in this, or is it still kind of like like you're enjoying every minute of it?
I'm definitely enjoying it to some
Okay.
degree. So I would say that the gameplay, absolutely no regrets.
Okay.
First day, I literally played for 27 hours straight. I've never had
Jesus.
a green XP bar.
Okay.
I literally got to Paragon 2 day one. So by the time day two rolled around, I didn't even have it. So I've definitely enjoyed like the actual gameplay aspect of it. I was not one that played a lot of Diablo 3. So
Okay.
for
Okay.
those people out there that are like, oh, it's just Diablo 3, it's like, okay, cool. I've never really played too much Diablo 3. So for me, it's a lot of new grinding gameplay mechanics, and that's completely fine with me because I'm not
Gotcha.
used to that. So it's been really enjoyable. I will
Yeah.
say though, our fearless leader chosen, because he got sick and I had to manage 3 different clans. And I was the only one doing that pretty much for like the majority of things. That
Fair.
did
Fair.
get a little tiresome in terms of like chasing everyone down. Like for those of you out there that like have run clans before, I don't know if you know, but it's like an
It
insanely
is.
difficult
It's
thing
a
to do
chore. It's
for
it's
one
legitimately
person.
like a job. Yeah, like it's legit.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys. Like he's literally grinding all day, every day, on top of tracking us all down. And don't get me wrong. Like I'm supposed to also be in the same type of role. And I don't know, a lot of you guys, I'm over here like, oh yeah, I'm playing, I'm doing things, and here's Vale in the corner like, all right, I'm grinding 6 hours a day, and I'm gonna get this stuff done. So keep in mind, like managing a clan and everything can kind of cut into your gameplay, and if it does, it's probably not the end of the world. But man, I know it can be a lot real quick, right?
Yeah, yeah. And there was a time there where I fell behind. I was sitting there and I was like, oh no, Darth is the same level as I am. This cannot happen. So I sat down. If you fall behind, like I say it's 6 hours per day, but I was like, okay, I was like 6 levels behind where I am
Oof.
at now, like 51. And it
Yeah.
took me like 30 hours to catch up because not only am I grinding up to that point,
Ooh.
I
Yep.
also like can't do it in a single day. So it takes me several days to do it. It's rough.
Yeah, the catch up game is definitely rough. Yeah, definitely understand that. For the viewers who are curious, what would be your recommendation for the different type of players, whether they're like free to play, if they're pay to win, if they're trying to compete, or if they're just trying to be casual? Obviously, you have a lot of hours already invested in the game. What would be your kind of general advice on like how many hours should they expect to play every day, or would be reasonable to compete, or just enjoy the game? What would be your consensus on that?
So I did a quick calculator here. I think I've spent over 300 hours in the game. That's
Okay.
like 14 hours a day on average, but much less
Jesus.
recently than the
Okay.
beginning. The beginning was like days on end. But
Okay.
I would say that you really I only need to spend about 2 to 4 hours a day per character if you wanted to do multiple characters in order for you to keep up with the server Paragon. And
Yep.
so if you're someone who's just hanging out, you wanted to not even necessarily be competitive, but you still wanted to be in a clan that is active or that you want to hang out with your friends, you're still going to absolutely be able to do that and keep up with them and not be too far behind with only 4 days or 4 hours a day. Like I would say, based on the time we've spent together, like that's
Hmm.
probably more your type of thing. If you
Yep.
spend, 2 to 4 hours a day, and you're honestly not super far behind me. And we could definitely run the same dungeons together. We run the same open world farms. There's literally maybe a 5% difference in terms of speed running, but that hardly matters for just the normal day. Like
Right.
it really doesn't. Now, if you wanted to be absolutely competitive, and I'm sure a lot of us on our server are tracking this. You got absolute massive grinders out there. You do have to spend money. That is kind of the
Yep.
reality with these such games. But you have people like John Souls. You have people like Soul who are like Paragon, same as me, Paragon 56, 57. And that does matter. Getting those extra few couple of levels on top of the money spent just puts the edge a
Right.
little bit extra. You could still be competitive while playing a decent amount and spending money, but there's a big difference between someone who spends, 4 hours a day in the game and 12 due to the gear. And it really does matter a lot
Yep.
because many people seem to forget, but resonance is based off your base stats on your gear. And so if your gear is better, your resonance is
Resonance
better, which
better.
means
Yeah.
your pay to win is better, right? So it really does matter a lot.
Yeah, it definitely escalates very, 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 very quickly. And speaking of talking about like how all that stacks, now that you're obviously your Paragon 50 and 57 nonetheless. So this means you also have that new Paragon tree, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, you could go treasure hunter if you wanted to just farm some of that gear, like what you're just talking about, right? But I'm
That's
assuming
exactly. Yep.
you're gonna either go gladiator or gonna go treasure hunter. Which route did you go? Which route are you doing? Are you trying to treasure hunt or are you trying to be PvP?
So I went survive. So actually, I have
Okay.
a 2-day cooldown on my Paragon reset.
Yep.
So I went survivor for the Rite of Exile. So I
Yep.
swapped it on Sunday. So I can't
Yep.
swap it again.
Ooh. Okay.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
so I got a little unlucky there, but I put my points into treasure hunter. So I'm 49 survivor, 8 treasure hunter right now. And that's because like I haven't really done too much PvP recently.
Okay.
I have been mainly focusing on the open world grinding. And if you're really not being competitive, if you're not trying to push the challenge rifts, or if you don't have a big Rite of Exile coming up, there's no
Right.
downside to Treasure Hunter.
Yep.
But I do like Gladiator a lot. And I would definitely pick up Gladiator simply for the first ability, that uncontrollable one. I
Right.
really, really like that ability to just immune a CC effect every 30 seconds, which is absolutely massive for someone like me who can basically stay on their horse if that
Right.
happens.
Exactly. Yeah, that's massive for you. And then on top of like quick witted, which just reduces how long those all work on you, right? Like, so I went gladiator because I'm tired of it. Tired of dealing with all of it. I want to go. I want to do more damage. I want to not die as much. And so I want cheat death. I want uncontrollable, and then I want to get down there and I want to get rapid recovery because I want I want to be able to do uncontrollable quicker. But yeah, no, I totally get that. And honestly, like for the amount of hours you're going, you're probably gonna see a better ROI out of Treasure Hunter than you would anything. Because if you're grinding for 6 hours a day, getting gear that's triple statted, triple magic attributes, like that's just massive for any type of an upgrade than anything else that you're going to get in the game. Like you're going to make up the damage lost by not having Gladiator or having Vanquisher just by with that Treasure Hunter, which is just insane. So definitely keep that in mind, guys, as you're watching this video and you're hearing about the time spent. There's other ways that while you're spending this amount of time where you can get more return on that time invested, right? Not to mention you're probably dropping a lot of gems, I imagine, right?
Yeah, it looks like there's a 12 normal gem cap on open world farming per day. And
Okay.
I reach that usually within 3 to 4 hours. So it's not a
Okay.
huge deal. But I pretty much do 4 hours a day at least in the open world. So I get full effect out of that treasure hunter. You do need to be in the open world to get full effect out of that thing. So if you do like other activities,
Yeah.
then you don't get as much return. But because I do that, I'm pulling a ton more legendaries. I'm pulling a ton more experience, all that good stuff when I'm running in the open world, which is very nice.
Nice, nice. All right, well, that's going to kind of wrap it up with this general discussion. Do you want to go ahead and let the viewers know where can they find you? What kind of things? What do you got going on? And yeah, that way they kind of know where the man, the myth, the legend, the Jon Snow lookalike can be found.
Well, I'm over at youtube.com, veiled shot Diablo Immortal. daily Diablo Immortal content. And then, of course, we are all part of the Aftershock United. Pretty much all of our content creators just kind of hang out in the Discord all the time. So those, if you want to check us out and hang out with us or join the clan, that's the way to start, realistically. And that's pretty much where we all are at all the time.
Awesome. So definitely go subscribe to this link. I will have his links down below. Obviously, we'll have the Discord link. We'll have the website link. We'll have all the information for you. Definitely want to go join and be a part of our community that we're trying to build here, because honestly, we're going to be going for server best on everything and trying to provide the best and most entertaining content that we can for you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Vale. I appreciate it. So it's always fun. We play together all the time, and we come up with these strategies, but it's not very often that we actually get together and make videos and stuff. So thanks for coming on the channel, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
All right. I will catch you later. And guys, viewers, if you enjoyed this, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.